Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Elemental Origins. My name is Starr. Today I'm going to enter the space with some Palo Santo, also known as holy wood. I do have some white sage burning by the side of me also. And today's reading is an intense one, everyone. Today's reading is for the full moon in Aquarius that we have coming up, but I have a lot of a preamble to get through today. Because I think there is multiple messages for quite a diverse group out here at the moment, and I'm going to say apologies for any background noise because I've had to leave the windows open. I was told to get a lot of air in, even though I'm filming, so there might be a little bit more background noise than usual, and it's particularly windy today, and that felt significant for some to share. If you feel like you've been closing yourself off, closing all of your windows, that's a sure sign that you have some dense and negative energy around you that shouldn't be there. It's predominantly at this time is what I want to share. And I was setting up for today's reading. I do have some pre-shuffle cards, and as I was shuffling I was thinking I feel like I'm back in the void, and I did a reading not so long ago that was connected to the void space, and when I was shuffling this card actually flipped out, which is the void. So stop, embrace winter, a great cosmic womb. So I'm going to share the void video so that you can perhaps pause here and go and find that energetic understanding, because I feel like some of you are going to have to bring it into this reading, and if you are here for the first time, welcome, but I think it's essential that you understand those energies and then bring that into conjunction with today's reading and how it's going to unfold. But I have brought a lot of crystals into the mix today. I've brought some dark amethyst. I've brought some, I can't remember for the life of me. Every time I come to try and say the word for this crystal, I did this yesterday and I cannot remember what the name is of this crystal, but we have a crystal dagger, we have some malachite, I brought in my crystal ball, I brought in some ocean jasper. Thank you to the dear soul that gifted me this absolutely beautiful stone, one of my favorites. I brought in some smoky quartz, and I've also brought in a rosewood beater and an organ pyramid. And if you don't own one of these organ pyramids, I would suggest buying one, anyone that is here, because it really does help to transmute negative energy into positive at all times. So that's just a side note for some. And I've also brought in a swan's feather and I'm going to say a raven feather for the purpose of this reading. So the energetic understanding of the raven is being brought into this space as well. And before I do anything else, beware those that might be wearing headphones, because I'm told to shake some beans to clear some energy. So there's a lot of energy clearing that needs to happen right now. So if you've been feeling in that energy, please take heed to that. Oh yeah, I want to say that warning. And I tried to not come into this reading with, you know, I guess fear-mongering somewhere, and it's definitely not a fearful energy to be in, but I've definitely been in spaces this week where I know that I've been attached to quite diverse understandings, some quite intense timelines that I've been having to detach from, and that does come with some growing pains is what I want to share. So please do reach out to me if you feel like you need any support in your spaces right now. But the full moon in Aquarius, I wrote some notes and some channelings before setting up, and it is the first full moon after the Lionsgate portal, and Aquarius is the opposing sign of Leo. So the moon is incredibly potent that we are sinking into, and I think so many of you have the opportunity to just absolutely catapult out of a real dense space into much calmer and more peaceful timelines. And I was hearing the storm before the calm. So some of you might have felt like you're in the most chaotic energy right now. You might have felt over the past week that you just couldn't get into alignment or really ground yourself. That's just a confirmation that you are in the right space. And please don't worry if you feel like you've taken a million steps back right now. I'm hearing that some of you have been circling back through karmic understandings, karmic lifetimes, so that you can close down those passages and then be able to move into calmer waters. But this moon is aligning with relationships predominantly, but also communication and psychic abilities. And to those that have been wanting to tap into their more psychic abilities, more senses and their clairs, I would suggest that you sit with this moon and ask for that to be something that is made aware to you, how you can sink in ever deeper into your clairs, into your other senses, into ether, into magic, into psychic awareness, however you want to label it at this time, because I feel like this moon is going to allow for you to see clearly all of the gifts that you already do possess, and the spaces in which you've already been given upgrades, but it just wasn't time to come into alignment and harness those energies is what I want to share. But if you can sink into this moon's energies, it's going to be great for connecting in with your higher self and the ways that your higher self and oversouls can most benefit you in moving forward. and also allowing for you to come into a space of integrity. And I've definitely been pushed to my absolute limits this week, in terms of, biting my tongue and making sure that I was doing better because I knew better is what I want to share. So if you feel like your buttons have really been tested, have been pushed this week, please know that you're not alone. And there is a lot that is happening right now. I want to say that there is just massive spiritual warfare happening out there right now. Whatever you believe in at this time, it's not necessary that you believe in the same things that I do to receive this reading. But I will say that I feel like this reading is going to touch upon a lot of topics that are very personal to a spiritual path, is what I want to share. So if you are here for the first time, that means you're probably aligned with this reading. But if you have been with me for some time, I was told that this week, there was going to be some energetic shifts, and perhaps there will be some that have been with me for the longest time that will not resonate with my content over here and over on the Light Renegades, which is with my Pleiadian Starr family channel, if you would like to go and check that out. But you will know if this reading's for you. You've sat through this already, you've sat through the intro, and you will know if this space is for you. But I feel like we're going to get pretty dense, pretty heavy, and it's going to be, I guess, an alignment that perhaps some of you have been waiting for the longest time, is what I want to share. But I do have some oracle today, and I don't have any tarot, so I'm going to be reading straight oracle today. I do have some pre-shuffle cards, and I'm going to shuffle some cards for clarifications if we need it as well, everyone. But take a minute to pick your pile, and I will go ahead with pile number 1. Welcome, Pile 1. This is your reading. Let's see what spirit guides, teams, and guardians wish to say to you with regards to this full moon in Aquarius. And I want to say, pause before you make any sudden movements, Pile 1. And the first card that I've got for you is going to allow for you to understand perhaps the energies that you are sat in right now. And the first card that I've got for you is Athelia. And I'm going to have to read from the guidebook because it's been a little while since I've pulled this card, Pile 1, so please bear with me. Because I want to make sure that we have got the energies right. But I'm already being drawn to the roses there, the polarity and the light and dark aspects. Two, two, one. Yeah, step away from 222. So that's significant for some out there. Those that might resonate with the 2 as an iconic number for you. You're one step away from something, is what I want to share. Alethea. Picasso said, "We all know that art is not truth. Art is a lie that makes us realize truth, at least the truth that is given to understanding. It is said that the resonance of our voice changes when we speak a falsity. In this light, practice seeing truth as a vibration. When in light, clarity, revelation, and disclosure. When in shadow, distortions, gaslighting, and excuses." Oh my gosh, to go a little bit deeper, the goddess Ma'at and Veritas. And I was hearing Ma'at when I was sitting down, because I do have some cards that are from I can't remember what it's called even. It is called Living with a Feather Heart, the oracle deck that I've got by the side of me, Pile 1. And you might feel like you're repeating yourself, because I just did that and I felt like that was guided, but I knew that Ma'at was going to be of relevance somewhere. And I've been listening to a song by Bring Me the Horizon, which is titled Can You Feel My Heart? But every time I've been listening to it, I've been hearing Can You Feel Ma'at? And you might want to go and take a look at that goddess, but the idea is that when someone passes, it is Ma'at that weighs their heart next to a feather. And if your heart is as light as a feather, you then get to pass over into the Holy Land, the land of light, rather than sinking into the depths of darkness, is what I want to share. So that understanding is significant to some. Please only take what resonates, but I knew that message was perhaps going to come out somewhere. I didn't necessarily know where I was going to bring it forward, so it's for you, Pile 1. Our soul recognizes the truth. When someone speaks it, a cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of Alethea. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rationale. We can also recognize aletheia in its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves and are more likely to tell our own story. The aletheia card requires us to step towards an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what's been concealed. Reclaiming your own truth is a way to reclaim your vital energy, health, and sense of belonging in the world. Truth has its own wings, set it free. And I found it interesting that Picasso has come up for you, Pile 1. So I feel like art might be important. And also art and this idea of that it's subjective. So there's an understanding stepping forward within this full moon for you, Pile 1, that perhaps you're going to have to take a subjective look at something. And that might lead you to a different understanding than you perhaps once thought for self, is what I want to share. Pile 1. And I feel like the energies are so disjointed for your pile, and I think that is with purpose, is what I want to say, because I think this is your energy that I've sank into. So you might feel pretty confused right now, Pile 1. You might feel pretty disjointed, and Teams of Light are saying to sink into you. And the next card that I've got for you is Wisdom. So it's going to have to take you using your discernment wisely throughout this full moon energies, Pile 1, to release yourself from where you find yourself right now. Wow, I promise you I didn't look at the card. 27 and release. Waning Crescent for release. Waning Crescent Moon for release. For some, there has been a hold over your life that you are now going to see exactly what it's all meant and just how you can set yourself free. And Scry, Mirror, and Projection. And I think the main essence that is stepping forward is that you're going to see that anything you felt about self in your life hasn't been coming from you. Pile 1, that feels like such a strong notion that is being brought forth. It's like you are going to start to see just how much others have influenced your life, and just how easy it is to say, I'm not going to accept that anymore, and to choose a different life for self is what I want to share. Pile 1, it feels like you've just been running on autopilot with the scripts of what others have been laying before you, and now it's time to put the weight down and to come into a space where you say, I'm going to live for me. And this feels like a notion that perhaps won't even sink in right now, Pile 1. This feels like a future understanding where you will come back to this reading and say, oh, okay, I understand it now. I realize what was being said to me. Because I feel like somewhere there is so much distortion that you can't hear the truth. And this idea of a feather light heart is what I want to share. And Pile 1, I want to say to you, if there are some in your life right now and you've known them for a real long time, and if you look at all of the ways that they've treated you over the years, would they have a feather light heart? Have they been gracious towards you? Have they been kind towards you? Or have they just hurt you over and over and over again? Is what I want to share, because this is going to allow for you to see whom is trustworthy in your spaces and whom is not. And I also want to share that if there are people around you that are nice to your face, but they do not support you in other ways, perhaps these are, peripheral friends or connections, that are, friends of a friend at this moment in time, you will start to understand whose energy has actually been of a positive influence to you or not. And I think you're going to start getting downloads about certain people in your life and just how much you perhaps thought you could trust them, but you couldn't, Pile 1. And, this is going to be quite a weighty understanding to come forth. I've had this happen in my life, when I started this path, and continues to happen. And sometimes it is a real blow. It is a real it is a real stake in the heart sometimes when you think that one person is one way towards you because of how they present themselves to you, when actually behind closed doors they are a completely different energy about you, towards you, etc. So I say this with as much love and compassion as I can, Pile 1, understanding that I think over the next few weeks, predominantly in the next week, you might have some real tower moments happen, where you start to see everyone's energy so apparently, so abundantly clear to you. And, you know, this is not to say that anyone around you is a bad person. There might be karmic attachments. There might be different lifetimes where, you know, you've been playing out these roles lifetime after lifetime. That's something I've been involved in. But this is also just allowing for you to see where others need to grow for themselves. I don't think there's necessarily anything that you have to do regarding those situations, you know, unless you want to speak up about how you feel in those spaces. And, you know, if someone has outrightly wronged you, it is up to you how you want to deal with that situation, pile one. But I'm hearing, for the most part, just surrender it to the universe, surrender it to life, surrender it to your teams of light, whatever you believe in at this time, to take care of all of that for you. And trust that if you, as long as you've been moving and working in a gracious manner, that everything that you've been asking for will be given to you in divine right timing, pile one. I feel like you've been sat in a space of pure illusion for a really long time, and please do not shame self for this, because I think that you've been in some very confusing understandings, and perhaps understandings that you weren't in awareness of, because you might have not have been in a spiritual path. You might still not be in a spiritual path, but yet your energy and your soul is attached to things that are of a spiritual essence, is what I want to share. So please, 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 Power One, if you feel the calling to be reaching out to me, do not hesitate, because I will be able to help you figure out what's been going on. But I'm going to pull some from I'm going to call it just the Oracle of Ma'at at this point, Power One, because I feel like there is a real deep understanding in that for you. I offer words of good intent, and that's in reverse. I benefit with gratitude. I am forgiving, and that's also in reverse. Let's pull one more card for you. I listen to opposing opinions, and that's in reverse. And absolutely, wow. You can't make this up, pile one. Look at the two roses here. And the mirror, but the reverse image of the black, it's a bird. The black bird of some description, and then the white bird, but you've got the white and the black on this side. Pile one. There is something going on. And this is going to look incredibly different depending on whom you are, but you are connected to some sort of, I want to say, shattering of illusions and just spiritual warfare, pile one. And perhaps you've not been cognizantly aware of this, but I feel like there have been those around you that have just been giving you the wrong information time and time and time again. And you've really been having to stand on your own 2 feet and allow for yourself to shine, no matter what was going on around you. And for some of you, this isn't your energy. This is the energy of someone else around you. For some of you, you have been the toxicity in others' lives, and this is making you aware that everyone knows. And if they don't know, they will know, is what I want to share. So depending where you are, what flip side of the coin you are, which side of the rose you are on, it's like whatever's been in the darkness is now coming to light. All of the shadows that have been around you is now coming to light. And some of you haven't been forgiving of others, and you haven't been listening to those around you that was trying to help. Whereas others of you, you were given the wrong information, and you were listening to that information because you thought that people around you had your best interest in heart when they truly didn't, is what I want to share, pile one. And I'm really sorry to anyone that's been in that understanding. And I predominantly feel like this is a divine feminine energy that's been suppressed time and time again. With this release card here, it's like you're really having to realize and understand that none of this darkness is you. This is all you over here with the light energies, with the sun, with the divine feminine energies of the moon, with the butterflies, with the birds, with the sparkles, with the entities. It's like you deserve to be free. Pile one is what I want to share. So please trust in the energies that are stepping forward towards you. And if you have a run-in with someone, or you meet someone and they offer to help you with something, pile one, and this might seem like nothing at the time, this might be a real small gesture. I'm hearing take that gesture because it actually means something real significant, pile one, and it's very cryptic, and I knew that these readings were going to be, but I think that actually right now for you, the smallest things are actually the biggest things, and that's something that's been mirrored in my expansion time and time again. And I've used this analogy before, but for about 2 months, every time I tried to leave the house, my keys were not where I last put them. And I was absolutely infuriated. I spent at least 10 minutes trying to find the keys, getting more and more annoyed time and time again. And actually, I was being taught the lesson of patience in those moments, which is a real fundamental lesson to learn. But by teams of light hiding my keys, me getting frustrated, that was me learning the essence of patience. Pile 1. And also, I'm being drawn to your dream times. Your dreams are telling you everything right now. And whether this is the truth of your situations or just how I don't know. I feel like it's going to be the flip side of either coin. Either that they are telling you the truth, they are highlighting the gaslighting that has been happening in your life, or your dreams are being sent to confuse you. Pile 1. And I want to share that throughout my life, I was being pulled out of the astral realms into different timelines, day in, day out. So I was never in the one same lane. I was never in the one same timeline over and over and over again in my life. So everything just felt incredibly confusing all of the time, Pile 1. And I've been connected to some quite intense understandings that I won't share over here because I'm trying to keep it as inclusive as possible, but I think if you know, you know. So that is also a warning to you, to just understand that perhaps every day when you wake up, you're in a different space and a different understanding of energy, and you're going to have to work with that to your advantage, Pile 1. Now that you know this information, please do let it sink in. But I also feel like a lot of you here will not even be able to register this reading because it's just going to be quite a shock to your system, to your energetic body, to your subconscious mind predominantly. Please make sure to align with the energy of gold and also amethyst, Pile 1, because that's going to be super, super, super beneficial for you. But I think that's perhaps as much as I need to share, as much as I should share. But before sitting down, I saw myself, what looked like myself, in a red robe, stood in the corner of my room, Pile 1. And that was a confirmation for me of, the alliances that I've made in previous lives that I've been trying to detach from in this lifetime and all previous lifetimes. So that's a confirmation to some out there also. Because I think that you've lived a very similar understanding, and perhaps you have started to see apparitions. And we've got the scrying mirror and this figure in the mirror. So if you've been looking in the mirror and you've been seeing figures, you've not been losing your mind, Pile 1. Everything that you've been experiencing is very, very real, and it's here. And you have nothing to fear in these spaces apart from understanding that it's going to take you fighting for your freedom is what I want to share, to set yourself free from your mental mind and your energetic body. And I heard something by another reader, and they said if the card hits the ground, it's got the energy, something like it's got the energy times 4. And I was like, I need to remember that and write that down because I feel like that's significant for some. And this card just fell on the floor. Pile 1, all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. And you are in a maze right now. Pile 1, you are in a maze. I can feel it. I can almost see it. And you're going to have to trust everything that you are feeling on the inside and what your intuition is telling you, rather than what others have been telling you, and perhaps where you've been going for your source of information of late. Some of you might actually go and seek a spiritual practitioner out, and I'm hearing they've been giving you the wrong information. So, please tread lightly in your spaces is what I want to share, Pile 1, because I feel like you are very much connected to some lifetimes that you perhaps have no idea of, and you perhaps have no idea just how much of a powerhouse you are here right now in your life. So please do just turn within. If all paths feel like they are leading to nowhere, I promise you, you will always be leading yourself home. And the person that you can trust the most in this lifetime is you. And this is something that I've done, personally on my spiritual path. I was in spaces where I had no one to give me any information at certain points in this journey because I was having to build upon my intuition and, my own personal resolve. But I'm hearing that the light within you is always going to guide your home. And we've got Starr family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support and call upon the stars for support. And it's the first time that I've seen that these little blue figures are actually beings being sent from the stars, which is absolutely beautiful, Pile 1. So if you were looking for a place to rest in the stars is what I want to share. And the pulse of Mother Earth is also calling to you, is what I want to say, pile one. So please do get out in nature if everything feels very chaotic, specifically regarding this full moon. But how you can help yourself with this full moon in Aquarius is that as to release yourself from all binding contracts, blood contracts, darker timelines, darker aspects and shadow understandings, and to be brought into a space of ultimate truth for yourself and your sovereignty. And you know, I use these understandings of light and dark loosely because I believe that we are 50-50 in all understandings at all times. But this idea of coming into your own sovereignty is incredibly important, and so important for those that are walking a spiritual path and those that are just going through this understanding of expression and expanse. And I want to say that that is every single soul that is alive right now. They are in a spiritual warfare somewhere that perhaps they are not in full cognizant awareness of. Pile one. So please go take a look back at that void reading. You might need to go back and watch it over and over again, because I'm hearing that there is information in there that you need to help you move forward. And I feel like some of you just watch this reading without doing that, so that's your reminder. But also know that where you are right now is in a liminal space, and that might change daily for a little while, pile one. But please do reach out to me if you would like support in that space. And I feel like so many of you are going to feel like you shouldn't reach out to me for whatever reason, but I promise you, you should. But that's all that I've got for you today, pile one. I'm sending you so much love and wishing you, you know, as much ease and grace as you can in your expansive path and where you find yourself in your journey right now. And apologies that this reading has been a bit heavy, but I'm hearing that you needed to hear these messages in order to help break yourself free from all illusions around you at this time, pile one. But please do not hesitate to reach out, and please do like this video and subscribe if that feels aligned to you, and share this reading with anyone that you might feel will best benefit. And I hope it's not many right now, to be honest with you, pile one, because it's been so dense and heavy where you are. But a massive hug from me to you, and please do call upon Archangel Metatron, Atlantis Angel Metatron, to help you in your space. And you might want to look into the Sphinx as well. And diamond energy and crystalline energy always comes through, and dealing with the sacral chakra, which is the creative space, the sexual space, and also the solar plexus as well, which is confidence and the I am. It feels like all of those understandings are coming to a head so that you can set yourself free. And it was 27:21 on the clock there, which might be significant for some. But that's all that I've got for you today. Please do take care, Power One. And yeah, I want to say I will speak with you soon to some of you. So please do not hesitate to reach out. I will keep saying it so that it goes in. Pile one is what I want to share. But that's all that I've got for you today. Do take care, and try and sink into the energies of this full moon to help you release yourself. You might want to take some cleansing baths. You might want to make sure that you're out in nature as much as possible, and cleansing with predominantly water. You want to stay clear of fire energies right now, because that's only going to harness those that are around you that are seeding in an understanding that you do not need to be connected into, is what I want to share. Yeah, massive confirmation with all the sounds out there, Pi One. But please do take care, and that's all that I've got for you today. Bye. Welcome to your reading, pile two. Let's see what spirit guides, teams, and guardians wish to share with you with regards to this full moon in Aquarius. And I didn't mean to pick up this void card. So the void reading is very, very, very important to you, pile two. Specifically, if you have been feeling like you're feeling a little bit lost, is what I want to share, pile two. So please do go and make sure that you watch that reading, because I'm hearing that there's going to be great insight in there for you. But I have pulled a archetypes card for you today that I'm going to start with, which will perhaps mirror the energies that you are in right now. And that card is the Storm. And for the first time, I'm seeing this hand here, and it looks like it's reaching out to another hand that's pushing it away. And then we've got an interesting figure over here. And what have we got? That looks like a dog as well. So yeah, there is just a darkness that is looming over this reading, and I think it's to help most out there release themselves from illusions in their spaces. So apologies, pile 2, but this might get pretty intense. And you know, please only take what resonates. If you feel like this is not your reading for today, then please do come back when you feel like you're ready to partake in something that might be a little bit heavy. But we've got the storm. I'm going to read from the guidebook for you, 157 on there for you. The storm. The storm's intention is to rebalance your equilibrium. It is a result of precarious conditions, not the cause of them. The storm lays bare the truth that there are forces larger than you. This understanding is a relief, but also a predicament of power that requires your surrender. And when in light, meaningful obligation and annihilation. When in darkness, meaningless disorder and dysfunction. The tornado seen from the Wizard of Oz. The storm, the chaos, the whirlwind and disorder. I'm being drawn to Twister, and there has been a remake of Twister that I did actually watch, and you know, it did what it said in the tin. It was quite a light-hearted movie, quite a cute movie, so that is confirmation for someone out there. I'm not sure where I've shared that, but you will know. And also this lightning bolt here. Possessing an energy much like the Tarot's Tower card, the storm undergoes all that is. Everything that was solid, known and relied upon, is stripped away by the winds of fate. The ground becomes the sky becomes a center, and then the center disappears. The storm is a great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on the path, no matter our age, wealth, or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. Their disturbing howls stir anxiety and make it impossible to see and think straight. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the storm, you will lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter and a reliable friend. When all else fails, go within. Therefore, a moment you settle in the eye of the storm. And I feel like these energies very much mirror pile 1, so you might want to take a look at pile 1 to understand perhaps some energies a little bit deeper that you are set in. But you've got jovial and meditation from the Atlantis Angels Oracle there for you, pile 2. And you've also got last quarter moon and gratitude, and you've got the hands here. So they had the hand that was being cast aside here, but now you've got the hand stepping forward towards you, pile 2. And the final card, you've got Black Cat and Good Luck, pile 2. You are in the eye of the storm. There is no denying that, pile 2, but some of you feel empowered in this space. Some of you feel like this has given you the kick up the behind that you need to understand exactly where you need to go from here on in. And I'm hearing some of you have weathered the storm before, so it's not going to hit as hard as it used to. And I knew that this understanding was going to step forward for some, but you have been in these understandings before, and this is a karmic pattern, a karmic loop that has been happening over and over again, and you've been releasing yourself over and over again, pile 2, and you're now coming to the latter end of those understandings, of this script, and you're ready to set yourself free. And it's because you've been allowing for yourself to not be impacted by the storm anymore. You've been sat in a space of ease and of grace, even when everything has been chaotic around you. You've really been finding your center and your strength within the storm. With the jovial stepping forward here, and the solar plexus chakra is highlighted. Citrine as well as a crystal. I'm being drawn to carnelian as well, which is sunstone. And calcite, which is the Viking sunstone. That's also confirmation for some. But it's like you are ready to ask for help from those around you. And if it's not now, you've already been doing this. And this is something that has been keeping you locked in a karmic loop. Pile 2 is that you felt like you couldn't ask for help in your spaces. You felt like you had to do all of this alone, when really you understand now that you had to be speaking your truth and sharing it with others in order to set you free. And you know, this is an understanding that some not nice beings use out there, is that they want to isolate and keep you away from those that can help you, is what I want to share. Pile 2. So please be aware of this. If you feel like you've been turning away from people of late, if you feel like you've been not feeling yourself, and you feel like you've just been lacking understanding somewhere, is what I want to say. If you've been feeling like you've been having like a foggy mindset of late, reach out to those around you that you know can help you. And you know, this might just be meeting up with a friend for a tea, or for, you know, a drink of some sorts, pile 2, just to take the edge off is what I want to share. In terms of the energy, you might just need to be in the company of another right now. So if you feel like you can't handle big spaces or, you know, lots of interaction, make sure that you are seeing someone so that they can take a little bit of that burden for you is what I want to share. Some of you have been in the absolute pits of late in this eye of the storm, and I'm hearing you need to share that load with others, because it's now time for you to be breaking out of this cycle. And for some, you've been feeling this, you know this is just a confirmation of where you find yourself right now. But I'm going to pull some cards as clarification and perhaps deeper understandings for you. I invoke laughter, and yeah, it's almost like I feel like there are spaces where you have been bullied in the past, pile 2, and these energies might be coming up for you in this full moon's understanding for you. And this is going to be a space where you have to release yourself once and for all. And I spread joy here. So there is a connection to your heart space and, well, the main 3 chakras of the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral. It's like you're going to have to bring those 3 into alignment in order to set yourself free, is what I want to share, pile 2. And for some of you, call upon your ancestors for help. This is what this card always predominantly means for me here, is that your ancestors are ready to help you. And for some, you know, they're in such gratitude for all that you have been doing, because you've been clearing the karma, not just of your own lifetime, but theirs as well. You've been doing the work that they couldn't do, and they're incredibly grateful. And to some, that's connecting to your Buddhist practice, there, as I just place that card over that for you. That feels like a strong understanding. I give offerings that are genuine, and you are a genuine soul. Pile 2 is what I want to share. I feel like you've been in spaces where you've been gaslit often. Yeah, it feels like there has been a lot of conflict with others around you, and you've remained in balance with I care for the earth. You've remained in balance no matter what has been going on, and your teams of light are incredibly proud of you. So they're saying, please use this full moon's energy to allow for yourself to seed into a space of having gratitude for yourself and everything that you have been doing this lifetime, and a job well done. It's like you are the cat that managed to weather the storm, is what I want to share, pile 2. Some of you have been incredibly nimble and agile, and you've surrendered to the process time and time again, and that's allowed for you to really, really set yourself free. And I'm hearing this time, once and for all, pile 2, you're coming to the latter end of all that is. I regard all altars with respect, and you do have respect for the divine. You do have respect for all of Earth, all of Earth's creatures. You have respect for the elements, and I couldn't help but see that, you know, these women here look pregnant on the card that I just had for you, pile 2, and the one just there. I'm going to bring that back out for you, because I did actually not put it on the table, and I'm not sure why, so we're going to see in a moment. Pile 2, bear with me. So it feels like a deeper expression of understanding as well. Yeah, for some, you've been birthing something incredibly new into existence, into this world. And, you know, to some that is a physical child, to some this is a project or a side hustle of some description, or to some of you, just by seeding in your own knowing, you've been allowing for that to reverberate out into the world around you. Some of you are incredibly powerful light workers, star seeds at this time, and I'm being drawn to Beetlejuice. That's significant for some, and the Black Swan. Perhaps you might want to watch those movies, because there might be information in there for you. And I don't mean to trigger with this notion, but also looking into the Twin Towers, that might be a point of reference for some. And, you know, apologies to whomever that might offend or trigger in this space. You know, I send my love and light to anyone that has been harmed in that understanding. I think it truly rocked the whole world and changed the fabric of our existence somewhere, which, you know, I find deeply disturbing. But if you've been drawn to shamanic practices for healing, you've been eating foods that are purple of late. I'm hearing drinking more Vimto, so that's significant for some. That has been to heal you, pile 2, in spaces that perhaps you didn't even know existed. So trust in the intuitive nudgings that you're receiving. I am kind. Yeah, some of you have really been gaslit to think that you aren't good people when you are, pile 2. You are the kindest, you are the sweetest, you are the most loving, is what I want to share, Pile 2. And there might be some around you that will continue to try and pull you down to their level, that might continue to try and trigger you so that they feel it's almost like so they feel that they have control over you. So the more that you don't react, the more that you stay in your own lane, the more that you are gracious with self and are kind with self no matter what is happening around you, the quicker that these energies will move on, is what I want to share, Pile 2. But I really feel like you are being tested to your limit right now, and if you haven't yet, it's going to be in the not too distant future, but you're going to know what to do in order to set yourself free. I really hate to bring this expression forward, but somewhere it's felt like, you know, people thought you were a joke, Pile 2, and I'm so incredibly sorry that that's the energy that people have tried to place you in. But I think those that once felt that now realize that it's been no joke what you've been talking about. It's been no joke what you've been trying to express. What you've been bringing to the table. It's like somewhere over and over again people weren't seeing your worth, but then you started to see your worth. And I'm hearing you didn't even start to see your worth, Pile 1. You started to see the wealth and life around you, and that helped you understand just how intrinsic your energy is to all that is. So in you loving nature, and you loving animals, and you loving everything perhaps outside of yourself, to such a deep capacity, then allow for you to sink into those energies and to help you understand that you are one with all of those things. So the love and the beauty that you feel for those things around you, you allowed for you to understand that you are part of that too. And this has helped you with your oneness. Perhaps you're practicing that understanding, and that's been allowing for you to see this new layer of understanding for yourself. So sink into that energy of oneness with all of beauty throughout this Aquarius full moon, Pile 2, because I think that that's going to be something that truly does help you set yourself free. So making sure that you are working with the solar plexus, the sacral and the heart chakra, and the higher heart chakra for some, and coming into a space of understanding that you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you deserve happiness. The last few cards I'm going to pull from Starseed Oracles. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. And this is what you've been doing, Pile 2. And if you haven't been doing it yet, this video is going to allow for you, this reading is going to allow for you to come into that understanding for self that it's okay to trigger some. It's okay to not be for everyone. Why would you want to be for everyone? Pile 2, you know, and I think you are actually a soul that you see as everyone is for you, even if there are those that, you know, you don't potentially get on with at such a deep capacity. You have love and admiration for them, and you can see you know, what they bring to the table in their own respective spaces. But not everyone has the higher scope of understanding like you do, Pile 2. So please do remember this. And I've just dropped 2 cards on the floor, and I heard another reader say that if cards fall to the floor, it's times by 4, I think is what they shared. So we're going to times these energies by 4 and bringing them forward to you, Pile 2, because I feel like these are energies and vibrations that you can sit in to help set yourself free. And we've got Last Lands, Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. And this is not your first rodeo, Pile 2. And I think others have tried to gaslight you into not allowing for you to see just how powerful you are and just what you bring to the table. And I'm hearing no more, Pile 2. No more are you going to allow for others to put you in a space where you don't feel worthy, where you don't feel seen. You're just going to simply walk away, or, you know, you've been standing up for yourself too, Pile 2. And if you haven't been doing this yet, do it, because this is going to be what is going to set you free. And, you know, sometimes we do have to give the energy back that we've been receiving. And this was something that I've sat with time and time again. And, you know, I go all across the spectrum of this. I send ultimate love and compassion out to everyone. But sometimes, you know, if you are given a certain energy over and over again, sometimes you do have to cast that energy back to those so that they understand what they've been given to you. And, you know, this is not an eye for an eye understanding, and I'm not, please know that no part of me is speaking on physical violence here, Pile 2, but just this understanding, you know, if someone has been speaking down to you for a real long time, it's okay to say to them, I'm not going to stand for this, and have a stern tone in that understanding is what I want to share, Pile 2. So please, please, please stand up for yourself, because you are not lost. You've already found yourself, and it's others around you that do not want you to seed in this understanding. But the final card that I've got for you, wow, is Mars energy in the Great Severing, anger, conflicts, and softened love. And please look where your Mars placement is in your birth chart, Pile 2, because I feel like these understandings are going to help you set yourself free. But also, you've been severing from karmic cycles and loops for a real long time, and I'm hearing it's now the last severing. And it's interesting to me, I shouldn't be pointing this out, but these look like the female form here, and it's within your beauty that has been allowing for you to set yourself free from these perhaps real harsh understandings. You've been perhaps this is something that you need to do. You need to look in the mirror naked, pile 2, and appreciate all that you are, because your energy is so intrinsically woven into the fabric of Mother Earth. The more that you can appreciate body, the more that you ground yourself into the space of everything, all time and all space is what I want to share. You are the waters, you are the land, you are the energy of everything that exists, and that's such a beautiful message to bring forward. So start appreciating your body, and specifically to those that have been had troubles with, understanding their body and their essence and connecting with their body. And trigger warning here, but I've been someone that struggled with EDs for the most part of my life, the majority of my life, and quite severe understanding. So I'm right there with you. Pile 2, it's real difficult when you can't see your body as perhaps it truly is. So please do reach out for the spaces that you might need more help within that understanding. But I'm hearing for the most part you've dealt with the worst, but now it's time to truly love yourself. Look in the mirror and look upon your body and your soul and your essence and everything with the most amount of love. And to some of you, looking in the mirror doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see your body. You're perhaps going to start seeing your light body, your aura, and all the bits about yourself that you do truly love that perhaps you once didn't love. Pile 2, and perhaps you are a soul that makes sure to not look into the mirror too long. But I'm hearing if you do take a look again, everything is going to be different to you now. You're going to start to appreciate all that you are and everything that you have, that you do already possess. So have gratitude for the beauty that you possess inside and out, pile 2. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So give yourself that grace to love yourself, because everyone deserves to feel love. Every single soul out here deserves to feel cherished, nourished, supported, loved, and above all else, seen and respected. That is the bare minimum that a single soul should receive this lifetime. And I'm sorry that you've been on the receiving end of not that understanding, pile 2. So make sure to be grounding into your spaces where you are within this full moon of Aquarius, and letting go of the words of others, the bullies of others, those scapegoats out there that try to blame you for everything when it wasn't your fault. Those that have not been allowing you to see your light, release those energies, because you are stepping into a new fabric of existence. And through this Aquarius full moon, you can catapult yourself forward into loving yourself so much more deeply and the most amount that you deserve, pile 2. But a massive, massive, massive hug from me to you. I can feel how much work you've already done on yourself already, pile 2. So I hope that this reading, has gotten through to you the spaces that you can perhaps, just tweak this understanding to be able to express yourself at a deeper capacity, and to be able to move on and move forward is what I want to share. But that's all that I've got for you today, pile 2. If you would like to work with me at a personal level, how to reach me is in the description below. Please do like and subscribe if that feels aligned to you, and share this reading with anyone that you might feel will best benefit. But I genuinely feel like this is a cleaning up of cobwebs right now, and a fabric of understanding that you've been going through in cycles, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. This is going to be one of the final cycles of these energies coming to the surface, pile 2. So release it now, feel it all now, let it purge out of you now, because after this you will not feel these energies the same way again. And you've also got the symbols of earth here, and I did draw the symbol of water moving into this reading, and I'm going to end on earth as well. So that's just a confirmation of just how connected in you are into this space, pile 2. But that's all that I've got for you today. Please do take care through this full moon in Aquarius, and yeah, I want to say I will speak with you very soon too. Pile 2, take care, goodbye. Hello pile 3, this is your reading. Let's see what spirit guides, teams and guardians wish to share with you with regards to this full moon in Aquarius. And I have pulled an archetypes card just to gauge the energies of where you might find yourself right now in your expression. And you've got the cave, and the hands on there always depict something of a very sensual nature to me, pile 3, and I'm not sure why, but I am going to read a little bit of from the guidebook with regards to the cave for you today. And that is on, well, I was going to say on pile, that is on page, not pile. Okay. 1, 2, 7, and that's incredibly significant for some. The cave. Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within dark confines of the caves. Let the cave teach you patience. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you even closer to the cave within the cave? Oh, that's so interesting. I feel like that's going to be a real great practice actually for you to do. So I'm going to read that again in a moment. Pile 3. The cave. The sacred, the center within, when in light, when in dark, withdrawal, isolation, and hiding. The caves of crystal, the Blue Grotto, and Less Course, if you want to go a little bit deeper in understanding. The darker the portal, the interior. The cave. Those that are fortunate enough to find and enter a cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city while the carnivorous and dimly lit chambers calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? I was going to say, where do you crave? And that was connected to carnivorous and cavernous. It's not carnivorous, it's cavernous, but that was a slip of the tongue for me, and I'm going to go back to that. You already know, return to it and tend to your fire. So where is your cave? You already know, return to it and tend to your fire. And the practice was, envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you ever closer to the cave within? And I feel like you're having to understand what you really and truly need right now. Pile 3, and I was being drawn to carnivorous understandings and cravings. And for some of you, you've been battling this idea of not eating meat for some time, and for some of you, actually you feel like your body feels a lot better when you eat less meat, but this is an understanding that you never thought that you would get to, or perhaps you know that you have actually been resisting. It's almost like meat has just not been feeling right in your system, and for some reason you're fighting it. Pile 3. So please do sit with that understanding of seeing yourself as a sage, or seeing yourself as a shaman, a caveman, whatever else, and imagine what you need in that cave to help you feel stable and secure, but also what amenities you need, because I'm hearing actually that's going to help you come to the understanding of what you need right now to nourish yourself and to enable you to move forward. I feel like everyone that is here in Pile 3, you've come to a crossroads and you're really having to take stock of what you need so that you can decide the next move and the next chapter to step into. Pile 3, and you are the lightest energy of all the groups today, so I think that many are going to be coming from Pile 1, Pile 2 into Pile 3 eventually with this understanding, and if you did go back and watch the void reading, which I'm hearing most of you did here, thank you for that, you will see just how far you have actually come. You will see just how far actually you've catapulted out of spaces of shadow, out of spaces of illusion, and you're now ready to put that firm and steady foot forward. Once you make some, I'm hearing some harsh decisions right now for self and for future, Pile 2. And I feel like you might feel like you're going to be a little bit savage in your understanding, but we are taking it back to basics. This is all about the root chakra. This is all about you finding your steady footing within this plane of existence and beyond, is what I want to share, Pile 3. I feel like you're an incredibly evolved soul, and you haven't been giving yourself what you need because I think you've still been figuring that out, but somewhere you've started to feel like you are lacking something, and it's because you are now ready to I'm hearing germinate what is now going to be your future, Pile 3. You've been having to purge a lot of energy, you've been dealing with a lot of other understandings, karmic contracts, you've been helping others, but now it's time to help seed in your life for yourself. So take this as confirmation, and if you've been seeing the North Star or the Stereo Star or the Arcturians as your guiding light, that's confirmation of where you are right now. You are seeding in the understanding of it's you within the cave. How are you going to set yourself free? And you've got Sandalphon with evolution here. The evolutionary cycles of life is where you've been finding your information. I'm hearing, wow, you've got 41, the Queen of the Moon, and sovereignty. Nothing to say, Pile 3. You've been fighting for your sovereignty for lifetimes. and you have it in this lifetime. Congratulations, pile 3. You've got geomancy and patience, and that's in reverse, but I'm hearing because you're not going to have to wait much longer to receive all that you've been asking for, pile 3. And you know, I don't share that unless I feel like that is a predominant energy for this group. And please do only take what resonates. You will know where you are in your life and in your journey. But I'm hearing the tides have changed, the seeds of life have changed, and you're ready to move on. And I've done this for every single group. My cards do not work like this, but this message is for all of you. And I did hear another tarot reader say, if the cards touch the floor, we are connecting into that energy times 4. So these energies are times 4 for you from the Ma'at. Understanding, pile 3. I do the best that I can. I look at the balance here. I'm being drawn to different goddesses here. And the understanding of, what's the word I'm looking for? Symbols on the palms. That's confirmation for some. I can consume only my fair share, and that's a massive confirmation for someone out there of something. I'm not going to go into it because I can feel the energy of it, but you will know if that message is for you, is what I want to say. You've been trying to understand how much you need to give to self and give to others, and how much you want to share with the world and humanity, is what I want to share, pile 3. And that is not a selfish expression to be in. It's okay to want to seed some of your life without everyone else knowing about it, pile 3. So I feel like most of you here will be, you know, in the public sectors of some sort. You might be have a public platform of some description, but I think some of you have been struggling because you wanted to, you know, give as much of yourself as you could to humanity, but you now also see that it's really important to seed in your own life and understanding elsewhere too, pile 3. So that's confirmation for some. And I think some of you have been struggling with feeling like you're going to live a double life, and I want to say that that's okay, pile 3. I want to say that where we find ourselves right now and the fabric of understanding, that it's very difficult to kind of not still live in a dualistic understanding, because even though you might be really seeded into other realms and other expressions, there might be a lot around you that aren't in those spaces yet. So it's okay to feel like you might be a double agent leading a double life for the rest of this lifetime, is what I want to share. And that feels like a massive weight might be lifted for some of you. So please do heed this understanding and sink into that notion that you are doing your best at all times, pile 3. You are doing your best, and it's okay to want to take a break. It's okay to want to step back into a space that, you know, you perhaps might feel is lowerly than your understandings, is what I want to share. And that's said from the least egocentric space as possible. But you know that you can connect to all realms, all times and space, but not everyone else around you can. So sometimes you do have to sink into the spaces that they are in to be able to share with them, and that's okay, pile 3. There is nothing wrong with that. And actually, you know, that's why many light beings have come down right now, because we are seeding in expressions for the future. So we are in a future space compared to most around us, you know, not everyone, but some around us, specifically, you know, those that we have perhaps grown up with. We had to break free from the molds and the constraints of those around us that were bound quite tightly around us, is what I want to share, pile 3. So you are allowed to do, say, and have whatever you want, is what I want to share, pile 3. And don't let anyone shame you for what you want and how you want to be living your life and expressing yourself right now. It is up to you to know what is good for you, what is feeding your soul, and where you feel happy, pile 3. And you know, perhaps you might find yourself happy in spaces that you never thought that you would be happy, pile 3, and perhaps with those around you that you just never thought that you would connect with. But you are there and you are happy, and it's okay to be there, is what I want to share, pile 3. This feels like you having to detract from the noise outside of the cave and coming into the cave of your heart. Where is it that you want to reside? Where is it that you want to seed in your light and your knowing and your understanding, pile 3? And for some of you, you know, you have real knowledge in certain realms of understanding that perhaps others, you know, don't even want to touch this lifetime, pile 3. And I'm hearing that's confirmation for some, but also you're allowed to you're allowed to do whatever you want. That's what all I keep wanting to say to you, pile 3, is that you're allowed to do what you want. It's not up to others, you know, how you live your life. It's doing what feels best to you. It's doing what makes you feel most alive, that is important to you. And perhaps, you know, there are very opposing understandings of your life, pile 3. Perhaps your workspace is real chaotic and, you know, in a space that is really, really intense, and then your home life is, you know, just the most serene and calm, and, you know, not in that space of understanding at all. And, you know, I want to say that that life is there for those that can handle it, pile 3. So if you've been trying to shame self, thinking that, you know, I need to create all of my spaces to be in all the realms of my understanding, that's not true, and that's not how those that are in balance work either. So if you've been shaming self, thinking that, you know, perhaps one part of your life is pretty chaotic and the other part is, you know, very in the opposing understanding of that, perhaps not energy but opposing understandings of that, actually that means that you're in perfect balance, pile 2, because pile 3, sorry, so there might be understandings from pile 2 there for you. Yeah, it feels like people's understanding or what you think people are going to be perceiving you as is influencing how you are moving right now, pile 3, when you need to let go of what anyone else thinks, what anyone else is wanting you to do or experience right now. It's about what you wish to be experiencing, and there is no shame in that, pile 3. And I want to say that you know what your body needs, and perhaps your body needs things that you thought that you never would be engaging with. Like I said at the beginning, those that are not wanting to eat much meat, and, you know, that's an understanding that they never thought that they would get to. There might be other expressions stepping forward within that space, and it's up to you to understand what you need in any given moment, pile 3, and don't let anyone shame you for that. And you are a soul that is so highly evolved, so it is up to you what you do and don't experience in your life. And yeah, there is no grounds for anyone to be judging you or shaming you at any given moment, is what I want to share, pile 3. You have to release the expressions of others, it feels like. And somewhere I think that you've been getting tripped up because it's like those around you that are putting pressure on you, because there is pressure somewhere, pile 3. Perhaps you've not been in awareness of this yet, but there are those around you that are putting pressure on you because they feel like they know what's best for you, but they don't. You know what's best for you, pile 3. So always sink into that knowing. You know what's best for you. And perhaps you're going to be pushing back from expressions that you never thought you would. Lifting the veil, questioning everything unaligned must go. Yeah, that's it, pile 3. Perhaps you're going to be turning away some aspects of understanding that you just never thought that you would, and you're going to be seeding in a life that is actually in true alignment for you. The blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And I did do a blue flame meditation. It's a little bit dated now, pile 3, but I'm going to share that with you in case that meditation resonates for you. But wow, the final card that I'm going to leave with is surrender to the sweetness, universal energy, but it's Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Oh my gosh, pile 3, I feel like you are being shamed by others for enjoying your life, pile 3, and it's because others out there are upset about the way that you are living, and you know, this can be for many, many reasons. I feel like you are a soul that is doing work that perhaps others don't understand, and they think, you know, why do they get to live the life that they do? Because I don't understand how they are living anyway. And I don't really know how to make that make sense, because there's going to be a whole diverse understanding connected to that. But it's like you have too many people in your business, pile 3, so it's okay to want to keep some things private. And I think some out there are wanting to know more about you and your life and what you are up to. And, you know, it's truly none of their business, pile 3, whether you are in the public eye or not. And I think this is definitely something that I've really felt for celebrities along the way. Because I think just because you are setting yourself up to be in the public eye doesn't mean that everyone deserves to get to know everything, every single aspect of your life. I just don't think that that's something that we should put the pressure on any living soul. I think that it's incredibly sad. So know that, you know, if you are in the public sector, you're allowed to keep some things private. You're allowed to keep some things, you know, that you don't share with everyone out there, pile 3. And those that are just trying to seek more and more information about you and your life, you know, they are living out of alignment, because they should be focusing on themselves and their lives, no matter how that relationship is laid out to you. And I think some also don't agree with the person that you are engaging with right now, pile 3, and it's none of their business, is what I want to share. It's about how you feel in any connection in any given space and time. You know, this might be platonic connections, this might be a business partner, this might be a romantic relationship, this might be your chosen family. You know, maybe some of you have been stepping away from your, your blood relatives this lifetime, and you've been stepping ever towards a chosen family. And some don't like it, but at the same time, it's not their choice, pile 3. It's up to you what makes you happy, and you have to do what makes you happy this life, pile 3. It's not down to anyone else to say to you, you know, what is best for you. Only you can know what's best for you. And I promise you, pile 3, yeah, it's making me emotional, you can trust yourself. There is something within you that is fearful of trusting yourself. And you know, perhaps you know that you've been in some deep understandings, and you've been dealing with a lot of karmic understandings, you've been dealing with a lot of backlash, and you know, making mistakes along the way. But just because you've made mistakes doesn't mean that you haven't learned from those lessons. And I'm being drawn to I can't think of what it's called, so I'm going to put it in the description, pile 3, but I'm seeing a flower bud of some sort, and I'm going to tag that in the description because I think that there might be some understandings in there for you. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember, pile 3. So please do remind me in the comments if I forget when I'm creating the description for this and I post a video, pile 3. But this is about you going into the cave and understanding what you need. Please do this as a practice over this full moon, because I think that you might feel, you might surprise yourself what you feel like you need, pile 3. And you can trust in those energies, you can trust in yourself and everything that you want to experience this lifetime. You see life through the eyes of unconditional love, and I think that's where some people get tripped up, because they are not seeing through your eyes. So to them, you know, perhaps the way that you've been moving, the way that you've been living your life seems very foreign to them. They don't understand it, but that's because you've broken free of the constraints of the matrix, pile 3, and you walk and you run and you play and you skip and you dance with the energies of the universe that some will never even fathom this lifetime. So if they can't even fathom where you are experiencing your love and your light, you know, I hate to say this, but it's true, but their expression shouldn't matter to you. What they have to say to you shouldn't matter to you. You don't have to listen. And that might feel quite a harsh statement to make. And, you know, of course, live graciously and, you know, don't shut anyone down in a harsh manner. But you can say, I don't have to listen to what you've got to say about me and my life. I don't want to hear it. Thank you for your expression, but we're just not in alignment. It's okay to say that to people and beings out here, pile 3. And this might be beings, pile 3, that will step towards you, that will try and veer you off course, is what I want to share, because there has been political unrest in the upper realms. I will share that with you, pile 3, because I feel like this is your spaces, not all but some. So it's okay to say to some, you know, I don't agree with the way that you want me to be living anymore, so I don't want to be conversing with you anymore, is what I want to share, pile 3. And this might be actual spirit guides and guardians, is what I want to share. And that feels like such a massive statement to make, but also I think that if that message is for you, it's going to make sense to you. And actually this has been the evolutionary progression that you've been needing to make on this path and on this journey, pile 3. And actually I did that at some point in my journey. I've remembered I had to disconnect from my Pleiadian teams of light, my Starr family, because in the upper realms, because I just felt like the information they were giving me wasn't helping me on my path, and I was, you know, well within my rights to do so. I felt like I just wanted to be speaking and conversing with different souls and understandings moving forward, and I was told that that was the right move to make, pile 3. So that's a confirmation of, you know, me being in that space. No teams of light, you know, were upset by that. Of course my Pleiadian family were upset by that, but they understood and they were gracious in that understanding and said, okay, like, we respect your wishes. And I've been dealing with, you know, other teams of light from that day forward, is what I want to share, pile 3. So please know, you know, I'm a person, a being, an entity that has done that, and it has been working out, you know, for me thus far. So please know that you are a sovereign being. Wow, yeah, you're a sovereign being, and it is up to you how you want to live your life, is what I want to share, pile 3. But I feel like I could keep drilling this information into you, Pile 3, but you've been lifting the veil on some pretty intense understandings and being drawn to war. Perhaps you've been living in a war-torn country. That's confirmation for some. You might be a new viewer here. You're in the right space. This might feel like you don't know what I'm talking about. If that's the case, please do reach out and we can work together if you are new in this space. But I'm hearing that you've been seething in the essence of your soul's being for some time, with this third eye understanding here and this blue being here. It's like you are the blue beam is what I want to share, pile 3. And for some of you, you've been seeing apparitions that are actually just your own energy but in parallel lifetimes, which is such a beautiful message to receive, pile 3. And I think that I will leave it on that, ended on that note. But I did just want to point out that I've been drawn to this moon, crescent moon, that's been, you know, etched into the sovereign being's third eye. Some of you working with sigils is going to be really beneficial to you moving forward in your lifetime. You've been feeling this energy. You're in total alignment with that. And also Lotus, and I did do a ceremony that was connected to Blue Lotus energy. If you would like to receive that replay, please do reach out to me, pile 3, because I feel like that it might be of best benefit to you. And I've just realized what the blossom is, and it's sumac. You might want to look into the energies of sumac and what that means for you moving forward, pile 3. But lily pads, iridescent colors, I'm hearing aura quartz, I'm hearing rose quartz, I'm hearing looking into the energies of Saturn, of Mars, of Venus, of Pluto, of Orion's belt, of the Sirius star system, the dog star, and also the Pleiades might help you in your expression. I'm being drawn to Andromeda and also Lyran understandings, particularly the white lion is what I want to share as another confirmation for some out there. I'm being drawn to unicorns and dragons as the final expression, and you can connect into dragon energy by seeing an egg and then a spiral in the center, and whatever color that spiral appears to you is actually going to be the predominant color and energies of that dragon, is what I want to share. But there is going to be more from me to come from those spaces and those understandings. So watch this space, pile 3, but please know you are a sovereign being and you do the best that you can at all times, and you are fair. So continue into standing in your power, in your truth, and in your knowing. You reside within the elements of water, and now you're grounding in you know, what comes as above and so below. You've been pulling in the energies from above to reach the so below. And for some of you, you've been delving into the pits of darkness at all times. You've been in the cave time and time again. Now you're going into the cave to understand what you need to